Oh, shoot. He's recording. Quick, be quiet.
Yeah, now recording. All right. Now, good evening, everybody. It is Monday, January 15th, MLK Day, 2024.
33010.
See, there was a little bit of a delay. This is episode number 217 of the Loose Screws podcast. I am Commander Nurgle. With me tonight is Commander Larkshadow.
Hello.
And we're the only ones here, but we're going to put out a show anyway.
Because we love you guys. And don't you forget it.
There's two of us, there's no news, and it's dead cold all across the states, but we're going to put out a show anyway. We'll find something to talk about. Commander Larkshadow, what's going on in your world the past week?
Snowing sideways.
Yeah, I think even though we're on almost complete opposite corners of the country, I've got a good chance of snowing sideways coming to me too.
Yeah, that storm that initially hit like the Pacific Northwest and then has just kept growing over the U.S. is like holy crap level storm. Over the weekend, we got 12 inches of snow. Because my driveway faces the wind, the little dip where the curb goes down and becomes the gutter and then goes back up to the street, right?
Yeah.
Got a foot and a half there, and I got stuck trying to get out of my driveway this morning, even though I shoveled.
God. Well,
had to rock the poor Rio back and forth until I had enough momentum to go over it.
Get over the hump. Well, Commander Bloomingland is in Nashville, and they had 6 to 8 inches last night.
Yo, ouch for Nashville, because they probably don't get that often.
No, they're like us. They get snow once every 10 years. Well, maybe a little bit more for Nashville. But so that's really bad for them. And of course, I was making a joke earlier in the Discord that, my local, now here, of course, I'm at the lower end of Alabama. We're going to have temperatures tonight in the mid to upper 20s. It's actually raining right now as the temperature falls. So there's a chance for snow flurries and some icing. And the news is apocalyptic. It's the end of life as we know it. Everybody's going to die. They literally led the news with life-threatening weather conditions. And I'm like, dude, it's in the 20s and it's wet.
Yeah, well, what's funny is because we get that kind of like snowpocalypse style storms usually once every year to a couple of years in the winter here in Idaho. The local news was like, oh, hey, yeah, this is coming. Just make sure you have things you need and stay warm. In other news.
Yeah, you guys know what to do. Moving on.
Yeah. So like to everyone else in the lower Midwest to South who's about to get hit with this gigantic cold front, to you, I say, welcome to Idaho. The potatoes are good.
Yeah. A lot of us are not used to this. And I'm afraid, I would be really happy to get even a little dusting of snow, because again, we get snow once every 10 years, maybe more down here. I don't want ice. Snow is fun. Ice is bad. So we'll see. And that, of course, in this part of the country, the power lines are not built for ice either. So if we get more than just a light coating of ice, power lines start coming down.
Oh yeah, I live in an older part of town, so we don't have buried lines for anything. Everything's up in the air.
Yeah.
I guess power did go out in several parts of the valley around us, but ours never did, which is fortunate because we don't have gas heating. We have electric heating. So if the power goes out, we're basically screwed. It's time to go to my parents or something.
Well, of course, I've been in this house for 18 years, but I found out the first hurricane season, one of the reasons we bought it was because all of the services are underground. But I found out the first hurricane system that while the entire subdivision has all of its power lines underground, those lines come to us above ground. So anytime a line, if a big line goes down, everybody loses power. It's either all or none. But so I know you have been playing a lot of Elite this past week too, because I've been following what you've been doing. So what all have you been doing in game?
Well, in game, I have been pushing my governorship Snoqui Xian like a freaking madman. And they've been giving out good missions too. At one point, when we were still down in the like 60s for influence there, the mission board spawned 6 or 7 of the donate to the cause missions for loose screws, all for 1 million credits, all for 5-star influence. So I'm just like doink, 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 doink down the mission board. And then I called it a night that day.
My work here is done. Well, no,
I just walk in, throw the wallet on the table, and walk out.
You, of course, we'll get to this later in the squad update, but we're trying to expand out of Snoqui Xian, and I know you and Grover were pushing hard, and as of the tick this afternoon, your efforts have been rewarded.
Woohoo! So yeah, I've just been doing all sorts of BGS out of SX, just trying to do whatever I can. Realized how much I miss doing missions because I haven't done them in a while, to be completely honest. I've just been out doing my own thing, finding bounties or gathering mats, whatever struck my fancy. Right. And getting back into the mission swing of things was fun, especially in my Type 10, which I'm testing out large frags on the wings on.
Wait, you put frags on a Type 10?
They're gimbaled.
Well, yeah, but frags only have an effective range of like 350 meters, give or take.
Well, that's fine because I'm in a Type 10. I'm slow. Everything's going to be that close to me anyways.
Nothing smart is going to be that close to you, especially not in front of you.
Well, no, but I mean, I can turn. Ish.
Yeah, ish.
I didn't say it was a good idea. I just said I had the idea.
It was an idea. It was an idea. Maybe not a good one, but it was an idea. I think your idea for an all cannon Type 10 would actually be more effective than frags.
Honestly, it probably was, and that all cannons Type 10 was literally every single hardpoint has a turreted engineered cannon in it, and it's hysterically weird and effective in certain situations.
I bet it is. Well, your cannons.
Also, want to know how many cannons you have to fire to vaporize a vulture?
What's the over-under on vulture vaporization?
Once.
All of them?
One volley is all it took, and that vulture just ceased to exist.
That's what, 8 hard points?
Yep. 4 larges, 3 mediums, and 2 smalls.
And what's
all hitting at the same time?
What's the experimental effect that gives knockback on those?
Oh, that would be shock cannon or shock shell or something like that. I can't remember. I actually have never used that one because I tried it once and I found it annoying to have to chase the enemy all over heckin' creation.
Oh yeah, I bet that would be. Yeah, I didn't think of that. I bet that would be tremendously
Which isn't
annoying.
To say it isn't fun for memes, but I'm just saying.
That's a meme ship right up there with Chig's all Packhounds T10.
All shock shell turreted cannon T10. Oh my gosh, I need to make that happen now. That would be hysterical.
It's got its own no-fly zone around it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you imagine 8 of those shells plowing into the side of some poor anaconda, and it's just not in the CZ anymore?
Yeah, exactly. That's a quick 500 meters of lateral thrust.
By the time they gain control back, they're like, "Where am I? What happened?"
Yeah. That would be fun to see. Like, I mean, it's probably not practical, just like Chig's Packhound T10 is not really practical, but it is glorious fun.
Oh shoot, I'm gonna start gathering the materials for that now then, because that just sounds hilarious. I want to try. Also, the dog is hiding under my chair again because she does not want to be groomed.
Yeah, for the people wondering what's going on, before we started recording tonight, Lark Shadow's dog was using his chair for cover from his wife with the grooming tool.
We're both laughing, for the record.
Yes. That's fantastic.
And now my palm is in here like, what is happening?
Yeah. So anything going on? Anything else going on in your neck of the woods?
Not really. In real life, I started seeing a psychiatrist, which is nice because holy crap, does it turn out I have a lot to offload. And so I'm just working on that sort of thing. And tried a new med and it didn't work, and wow, it didn't work. So I'm not on that anymore.
Yeah.
And just hoping to get some more tools so I can live my life better. That's all.
Absolutely. More people need to take that advice.
Dang straight.
Just
Would recommend.
absolutely.
10 out of 10.
Absolutely. Just if you feel like you need help, call somebody and get some help.
No freaking kidding. So anyways, what's going on in your neck of the woods, nerds?
Well, so on the work front, I thought the only interesting thing that really happened is last week one of my guys found a gun in a park.
Oh, nice.
Which I have to say is really the first time that has happened. I got that phone call.
Where you live, I find that hard to believe. I'm not kidding.
I actually, when it happened, I was like, oh shit, this is something that really hasn't happened before. I mean, I had to think for a minute about what I was supposed to do. So I went ahead and called the police and let them know, and I drove over to help him secure the site till the police could get there and collect it. And of course, here I am. Someone had thrown this pistol into a bush, and here I am, trying to squeeze.
That's 100% a weapon that was used in a crime. Then.
Oh yeah, so because I'm, here I am, poking my face down into this bush, trying to, get the best view I can of this thing without actually touching it. And there's another story that goes with that, and all I can see is that it's a small pistol, and you could see where somebody had just carved the side of it with some,
for crying out loud,
like a Dremel or the edge of a grinder or something. I'm assuming that's where the serial number was. I don't know. And then police officer showed up a few minutes after me and pulled it out of the bushes and said, "Yep, congratulations, it's a 9mm," and then took it off somewhere. I asked him to just, because he got all of my information and all of my guys. I asked him just, hey, give me a call and let me know if that was used in a crime or anything. I'm just kind of curious to know. And he kind of nodded at me. I don't expect to ever get a phone call.
But, no, he probably got in his car and was like, of course it was used in a crime, and drove away.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any doubt about that. but that was interesting. But the funny thing is, I don't know, maybe a month or so ago, I met my crew at this job site to kind of walk through some stuff we needed to do. And I'm standing there and I look down at the ground and there's a nice buck pocket knife laying on the ground next to my foot. So I bent down and picked it up. Yeah. So I bent down and picked it up and said, "I'll be damned." And one of my guys said, "Yeah, now your fingerprints are on the murder weapon." It's like, I never freaked thought of that, but thank you.
Not a murder weapon if you put it in your pocket.
I don't know if that changes.
Never mind. That's bad advice. Do not take this advice, screws. Do
not take that advice. That's. But I did get a nice buck knife out of that.
Nice.
But lesson learned. At least I had enough sense not to touch the gun. I did start my my post-retirement job last week. Really just doing some online training and getting some of the certifications and stuff out of the way. That ate up a lot of time. I actually spent a lot of time doing that this past weekend.
Remind me again, what's your new job, part-time gig?
Nuclear medicine courier.
Well, that sounds a lot more impressive than it probably actually is.
It's a special pharmacy that makes nuclear medicine for diagnostic tests, and that stuff. It's got a really short half-life because it is radioactive.
Nice.
So it has to be made pretty much when it's used and delivered. So I'm going to be a courier for them. Not really sure how.
Sounds like a lot of weird fun.
Well, but because it's radioactive, I've had to get hazmat recertified. I was before.
Nice.
But I've had to get recertified with hazmat. So I've been doing an awful lot of testing, and it's a pain in the ass. But I never should have let that lapse, but I did. So here I am doing it again.
That's like me with all of the numerous certifications I've had and then not had in the course of my IT career. It's like I probably should have kept on top of that, but I'm probably also never going to use that again. So,
Yeah, and that's exactly. I never thought I would use the hazmat transportation certification ever again, so I let it lapse. But oh well, it is what it is. It's at least I have a background in. It's just I have to go through dozens of online learning modules that I already pretty much know the information, but I have to get the certification. So, but that's going to be interesting. That's it is what it is. It just is what it is. And I have not touched Elite since sometime last week.
Oh yeah, I've had those weeks where life just takes over, and it's like, yeah, you know what? No.
Yeah, but between real job, training for second job, and we're in the middle of archery season. I had an archery tournament to take the kids to Saturday afternoon, so it's busy, and I'm feeling it, feeling my age. I can't wait to. There's going to be about a 2-month here overlap where I work both jobs before retirement kicks in. And
that's going to be a rough couple of months.
Yeah, I'm going to be really, really tired, even though I'm doing one of them substantially less than anything that would be called part-time. But
no worries, man. We'll mine the empire for you. It's all good.
Yeah. Oh,
and by mind, I mean possibly some arson, but you know, it happens.
I would like to say that makes me rest easier, but that's not even on my list of things to worry about.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's go ahead and knock out a squad update here real quick. All right. So,
all you, my man.
All right. So we have an election for control going on in LTT 10480, which is something we've been working towards for a while. We expanded in there a couple of weeks ago, and we've been climbing the ladder. So vote early, vote often. We want to win that one and take over. We have a war pending in Graham, which we need to go ahead and win. That's not for control. Off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure that's one of those Antol systems we don't want to end up in control of.
Yeah, isn't that one of those systems that we want second place to help stabilize the system?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, that's right. I remember right then. Yay.
As hinted to earlier, we are now pending expansion out of Snoqui Xian. So Lark and Grover's hard work has come to fruition. That expansion is almost certainly going to go to a system called Kaputek or Kaputok.
Because in lower screw space, we just can't do normal names.
Yeah, tell me about it. And that's just because it is the closest open spot. But I know we're going to chain several expansions out of there. There's a couple of open systems. There's a friendly neighbor system that has an opening where they would be happy for us to come in and fill that slot. And there's a couple of other open systems that we can actually take control of in that area. So I know we're going to chain at least 3, maybe 4 expansions out of Snoqui Xian.
Oh, it's good to have allies.
Yep. You're going to be the center of screw space for a while, too. So. There is nothing on the overheating front at the moment. I know Blooming Wind had a list of 4 or 5 systems where he wanted to actually boost loose screws influence a little bit to get us into a more stable position. Those are in the standing orders post. And I need to issue the standard disclaimer that Calarum is a smoking hot mess. I know we just finished a conflict there that we did not participate in. We are leaving all management of Calarum and the Gordian Knot that it is to the new system owners. So stay out. It's a giant ball of space cooties. Stay away from it.
I'd say space herpes, but sure.
Well, I actually did in another time call it space herpes.
Oh, there you
go. So maybe I should continue referring to that. But anyway, stay away from Calarum. Let new management sort out whatever is going on in there. And that's what's going on with the squad. So Blooming Wind is continuing to churn out his highly detailed and awesome standing orders post in the standing orders section of the Discord, which has got all of the daily tasks that everybody can do to help the faction out. And then, of course, if you have any questions about that or any of the details in it, you can go to the Loose Screws Faction channel, post a question. One of us BGS geeks will love to talk about it and answer your question.
In worst case scenario, I'll give you bad advice, but it'll at least be funny.
There you go. That's the right attitude. If you can't be correct, be funny.
Exactly.
The only thing going on in dev news is at some point we know update 18 is going to happen. There has been no set date for that, just that it's going to happen.
Soon, TM.
Soon, TM, yes. That's a direct quote from Hate, soon, TM. And then I know Burr's latest video said that there was going to be FDev financials coming out next week. So that'll be interesting, because I know the last time FDev financials came out, people were clutching their pearls and threatening to jump off bridges.
Oh no, the company's doing bad. Everything's worse. The sky is falling. Wow. Space is falling into the sky, which is falling into the other sky, and it's just a circle of sucking sky. Does that about
covers it? Or? Yeah, that about covers the community reaction. Yes, everything is bad. That's the community reaction to that. But what could they say in a financial disclosure next week that would not be taken as bad news by the community?
The only thing they could say that wouldn't be taken as bad news would be servers are shutting down.
Would be actual bad news.
Exactly. There's nothing they can say. It's a no-win situation, and that's what drives me bananas about those kind of, I don't want to say players, but like the fair weather players, you know what I mean?
Right. Yes.
Which isn't to say there isn't a place for that. There absolutely is.
Right.
But what drives me nuts about it is the whole, like, let's just use the ASP Scout as an example. All the drive-bys going by, all the ship sucks. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here and it's one of my favorite ships to fly because it handles so dang well. It's like, just do what's fun. Like, why are you focusing on the negative? Yeah. There's already too much negative in the world. Try and be something better. Like, geez.
And, the game has problems. The company has problems.
Absolutely.
You can say that about just about anything else out there. I mean, just don't dwell on the problems. Do something fun and don't dwell on the problems. I mean, geez. There's lots of doomsayers out there.
So here, my brain just thought of this because I'm ridiculous. So strap in. So if they did this news tomorrow, what do you think the community reaction would be?
Oh, no.
FDev has announced that they are buying out Star Citizen. There's your hot take, people.
I promise you.
Mic drop.
The first comment after that would be, we're finally going to get ship interiors.
Yeah, it would. And what's funny is I'd be the one saying it.
You would not be alone. And then somewhere Dubs would be happy about being able to have fist fights on the loading deck.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
But ship interiors, I know we've covered that a dozen times.
Oh,
ship interiors would indeed be cool.
Buried at this point.
Yeah. I wish they would hit the middle ground and give us some customizable fleet carrier interiors.
Yeah, make it homey.
Just even if it's just they're like ARX packages. You can either do this or this, something.
ARX for pillows.
ARX for pillows. Yeah, I think we've talked about this on the show before. I know we've kind of talked about it as we were in chat and stuff. But if they would just monetize what they already have.
Yeah, I don't know why they're so bad at that, but they clearly are. I just hope that in all this, and it sucks to say this, so keep in mind, I feel for everyone that's been redundancied because,
yes,
in 20 years in IT, there was a point there where I was getting laid off every about 5 years. So, I mean, I've been there many times.
Yeah.
So I get it, and it sucks, and it's a crappy position to be in. But from the person who likes elite perspective, I'm hoping some of the redundancies happening might actually have some people learn lessons or maybe bring in a little bit of fresh talent eventually that can have a different perspective to help shape that sort of thing as far as ARX goes, like ARX for pillows. Yeah, I just said it as a meme, but I mean, do it. I would absolutely spend that 100%. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, and there are a lot of people out there who would spend ARX on cosmetics. And I mean, I know I don't want to say doing fancy cosmetics is easy, but it's a hell of a lot easier than programming new functions.
Dang straight.
So, go wild, do some funky cosmetic stuff. There are people out there who will spend money on it, and this is how you generate income for your game. And I say that like they don't already know that, but
In before future news story. Added pillows in the next update. Also, new bug. All Thargoid Titans are now fleet carriers.
aren't they kind of anyway? They're just fleet carriers for Thargoids.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like the bug is they turn into actual fleet carriers.
Oh. Okay.
Then everyone starts landing on them like, ooh, what's in here?
Speaking of Thargoids, I know there was, of course, there's an event going on tonight for material gathering. The Mining Mondays group are supposed to go out and do some materials gathering. But I know before the weekend, there was another Thargoid Tuesday. We're not calling it Thargoid Thursday because we don't want to aggravate Audaxius.
Love you, Daxie.
Love you, even though you hate alliteration. I know there was a Thargoid night, the kind of the end part of last week where they went out and were fighting around a surface site. And clearly neither one of us was there.
No, I wasn't able to make it, but I saw a ton of people were online for both of those Thargoid get-togethers.
Yeah.
And I even jumped into Trax's stream because he was streaming at one point on Twitch just to see everyone was having a blast. It made me so happy.
Yeah. And now that some of the invasions are hanging around for a few days, there's really a chance to get some more of those in. So going to try to we're going to try to have a Thargoid night kind of the end of every week. And it may be Thursday. Sorry, Daxie. Maybe Friday. Usually those invasions start getting wrapped up by Saturday or Sunday. So it's kind of hard to have them on the weekends because there just may not be one to have.
Yeah, Thargoid Friday.
It's Tuesday.
Whichever.
We're just going to call it Tuesday because it's Pew Pew Day.
Fair enough. Which reminds me, I really should get the AX stuff back on my clipper.
Yeah, the convergence on those hard points is terrible.
Doesn't matter, they're gimbaled.
Still, the convergence on those hard points is terrible.
I
do love me a clipper.
As do I.
Clipper is one of my favorite ships, and it probably would be my favorite ship if it didn't require a damn large pad.
That's dang right. And the reason I love the Clipper so much is I might not be doing it the most efficient way, but dang it, I look good doing it.
Well, and there's no substitute for speed. That's one of the reasons I've always loved the Clipper.
Yeah, I have grade 4 clean drives for that thing. I engineered those specifically for getting in and out of the Spire sites. I didn't have the mats to go grade 5 yet, but I'm gonna. Cleans, yeah. It's still plenty fast enough with cleans and drive distributors on it. That thing still boosts to like 530, 540. It's more than fast enough.
Yeah, but why clean?
Because it's a freaking Imperial ship. It runs hot anyways. I hate dealing with heat.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. They do run hot.
Yeah, Gudamaya in his infinite wisdom is like, I know, let's put an easy bake oven here where there should be a heat sink.
Exactly. Heat management? We don't need heat management. It's cold in space.
Someone probably brought it up to him in the design meeting, and he was like, you're a heat management.
Oh, I should have seen that one coming.
Probably, but...
All right.
Yeah.
So, that is the limited amount of dev news that is out there. Can you think of anything else that's going on before we wrap this thing up?
Hold on. Let me see the events. Wasting the time.
Dead air. Dead air.
You're a dead air. Yeah, Tharg's Day is coming up again.
Yes.
Looks like they're planning it on the 18th. And then there's another one till the 25th. But yeah, we got those get-togethers still coming up. So if you're interested, see the events tab at the very top on the Discord. Just click on that, select the event you want, and click interested. And that way you'll get a reminder when the event takes place.
Oh, yeah. I forgot it did reminders.
I don't forget, because without the reminders, I wouldn't know it exists.
Without the reminders, you'd forget.
Exactly.
I know that. I know that feeling that comes with age.
Quiet you.
But hey, look, I'm right there with you. Actually, I'm way ahead of you on that.
Hashtag thanks, man.
Yeah. Hashtag thanks, man. Exactly. All right. Oh, like they took the disclaimer, they took the closing comments out of the end of the notes. That's not fair. I can't remember that.
I got it up here on the top, actually. If you like the podcast and want to join our Discord, visit us at loosescrewsed.com, all is one word, and click on Discord. We also can just give you a Discord link if you need it. Support us on Patreon at patreon.com/loosescrewsed, and other stuff that should go here and things.
All right, so I am Commander Nurgle, and for Commander Lark Shadow, that's the end of episode 217. Say good night.
I'm crazy.
Good night.
Good night.